Morning students, now we will extend our study on the integration. In last class we completed exercise 7.9. Today we will see more question or more example of 7.10 exercise. Actually 7.10 is nothing new, but it's only having some standard question of the definite integration which already we have discussed. So example number 28, what it says, look at, I tell you, I is equal to minus 1 to 1, 5x to the power 4 and x to the power 5 plus 1. Very simple question it is. We start, just to look the question, because there is no specific question, method, that it is not a particular one. Still I tell you, just look at, it's in under root sign, you have a term x to the power 5 plus 1 and it is x to the power 4. So one can simply understand about this. We will consider x to the power 5 plus 1 as t, because we know that differentiation of this is 5x to the power 4, which is here. So we assume it is t, we do differentiation. Differentiation 1 is 0, dx equal to dt. Fortunately we have 5 also there, 5x power 4 and dx equal to dt. But next is the limit. The limit is in actually of x. It's x equal to minus 1 to x equal to 1. And we consider that is t. So we will convert all the limits in the form of t. How it is? When x equal to minus 1, it whole gonna be minus 1 to the power 5, minus 1 plus 1, t will be 0. And when x equal to 1, it's there, 1 plus 1, it's gonna be 2. So this limit has been changed from 0 to 2. Now your question will be 0 to 2, 5x4 dx will be dt, and this whole will be t, like that. Now t, it's a t to the power half, and integration of this is t to the power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2, 0 to 2. You can put a limit, upper limit 2 to the power 3 by 2 minus lower limit is 0. So whole answer is 2 by 3 into 2 to the power 3 by 2. And you know that after it 2 to the power 3 by 2 and 1 will be 5 by 2 upon 3. That's an answer. So I don't see the trouble. It's very easy it was. So now let me take one more question. It's example number 29. Can you see example 29? I equal to 0 to 1 tan inverse x upon 1 plus x square. Again, very easy question. Why it is so? Because when you will see the question now, you only consider tan inverse x equal to t because its differentiation is 1 upon 1 plus x square, which is available in the question. So we start with assumption tan inverse x is equal to t. Differentiation of this is 1 upon 1 plus x square dx equal to dt, which has come now. About the limit, we will change when x equal to 0, put here, that is tan inverse 0 equal to t, which is angle. So you know that this angle is a 0. When x equal to 1, it is tan inverse 1, and you know that this angle is equal to tan inverse 1, meaning pi by 4. So finally you have changed your question by 0 to pi by 4, 1 upon 1 plus x square dx was dt, and that tan inverse x was t. So question gonna be like that. Now student, what to do? It's just only integrate 2 to the power 1 is a t to the power 2 upon 2 and limit from 0 to pi by 4. 1 by 2 can be taken outside and limit from 0 to pi by 4 will be operated and put upper limit pi square upon 16, at the place of t if you put pi by 4 and 0 lower limit. So whole answer is a pi square upon 32. This is completion. So it's nothing hard, very easy. So this is the whole exercise based on the concept which right now I taught you 2 questions. Some question we want to look from the exercise 7.10. Look at them. Question number 2 is looking good. So I want to take this question. It's sine of phi. Instead of phi, I want to take x because it's very inconvenient to write there. So I'm writing hold the question in the form of x. The question is 0 to pi by 2 sin x cos 5x dx. This question gonna, just look at how we can deal this. In under root sine we have a sin x. So if we take this sin x equal to t, the differentiation of sin x will be cos x only. But it is cos to the power 5. So you don't worry. You first write that sin x is copy. That cos x is a cos to the power 4 into cos. Why I have written like that? Because after assuming sin x equal to t, cos x dx will be its differentiation, should be available, so that I made cos x to the with the power 1 specially and separately. The rest power was a 4. And very important thing, before assuming sin x equal to t, one must understand that this must be in the form of sine, because after taking sin x equal to t, this cos x dx will be dt. And what about that? So this should be written cos to the power 4 1 minus sine square x, meaning cos square x, and whole square, meaning cos to the power 4, and then only cos x dx is waiting here. Now what to do, student? You take sin x equal to t, differentiation of cos, this is cos x dx equal to dt. But this is not enough. We have to go with changing the limit. When x equal to 0 will be put here, sin 0 is equal to 0. When x equal to pi by 2 will be put here, sin pi by 2 meaning 1. So your answer now changes lower limit 0 to upper limit 1. So question gonna change like 0 to 1. Sin x will be t. And this is 1 minus a t square whole power 2. Whole power 2. Cos x dx will be dt. Like that. Now how to do this question? Look at, students, this is t. Open this by squaring a square plus b square minus 2ab and dt. 1a square plus b square minus 2ab. Now what to do? It is t to the power half. It is what? It is t to the power half. And this is the term you multiply first. T to the power half into 1. T to the power half plus 4, 9 by 2 minus 2t to the power 2 and half is a 5 by 2 and dt. Now you integrate all each in term, like t to the power 1 by 2 will be 3 by 2 and 2 by 3. Plus t to the power 9 by 2 is 11 by 2 upon 2 by 11, and 2 to the power, so 7 by 2 upon 7 by 2 will be 2 by 7, and whole 0 to 1. For lower limit we don't have to worry, but upper limit is only valuable here. So 1 will be put it all the way, like 2 by 3. When upper limit will be put at the place of t, it's gonna be 1. So I don't want to write that term. So 2 by 11 only, it's again 1. And this 4 by 7, it is again 1. And about lower limit, its whole is 0. So we don't want to write that. And this is the, whatever the answer you will get, this is gonna be a solution. Just take an LCM, and whatever the answer is having with you, this is gonna be your answer. Okay. So this is a problem which I want to share with you. So all this kind of question will be there. You just have to do only. Look at, we take some question. Question number, suppose I tell you third one, 0 to 1, sine inverse of 2x upon 1 plus x squared. Can you see the problem? Sine inverse, this question also may come like that. Cos inverse 1 minus x squared upon 1 plus x squared. This question also may come like that. Tan inverse of 2x upon 1 minus x squared. 3 questions may be there. And why I have written all the questions together? Because all questions based on same tactic, same idea. Look at, this is inverse function, and this seems a formula 2 tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta. And this idea must be in your mind. This is none else but it is actually equal to formula 1 minus tan square theta upon 1 plus tan square theta. This is again looking like a formula 2 tan theta upon 1 minus tan square theta. This is the formula of tan 2 theta, this is a formula of cos 2 theta, and this is a formula of sin 2 theta after putting x equal to tan theta. So if this idea is in your mind, you can substitute proper values of x Because it is an inverse function, you can think that it is definitely near to the substitutory method. So we will use here, put x equal to tan theta, because on putting we have a formula. Now we just go with dx equal to tan 6 square theta d theta. Just put also limit. How we can change the limit in the form of theta? Look at, we have x equal to 0. When x equal to 0, this is gonna be 0 equal to tan theta, meaning theta equal to what degree? 0. And when x equal to 1 equal to tan theta, theta gonna be 45. So these two things are very easy for one and all. Now we can change the limit, 0 by 0, and this is by pi by 4. Sine inverse, I'll go with 2 tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta, and this is dx is equal to sec square theta d theta. This is, now what to write? Pi by 4 sine inverse, this whole is none else but it is sine 2 theta, this is sec square theta and d theta. And you know that why I substitute this proper value, because I knew already it gonna be sine 2 theta. Sine and sine will operate, you know, both will cancel to each other. We'll have 2 theta sec square theta d theta. I'll write 2 outside. We have a limit and we have a question, theta into sec square theta d theta. Let me speak now one very important thing, that this is multiplication, and by Euler law we'll have a first and second. And I taught you student, when two functions are coming in multiplication and according to the definite integration, I taught you how to manage this. Okay, I again speak. First function as it is, integration of sec square theta, do it directly. Don't wait and don't try it spatially. Do it directly, because that time you will separate the limit also. Like integration of sec square theta is a tan theta, and instantly you please solve, use the limit, because you have completed the first section. First function, integration of second tan theta, use the limit instantly because you have completed first portion, minus differentiation of theta is 1, which need not write. Integration of sec square theta is a tan theta, which is yet to integrate more, so use a limit because it is yet to integrate, and this is a 2 outside. So please follow the method which I wanted to share with you here, and now use a limit, pi by 4 tan pi by 4 upper limit minus 0, need not write, this is the upper limit minus lower limit. And what about theta? Tan theta, you know the integration of tan theta is a log sec theta or minus log cos theta. So I am using minus log cos theta, minus plus log cos theta, and use a limit here. This is a limit 0 to pi by 4. Now I'll go with answer like 2. It's a pi by 4. Tan pi by 4 is a 1, plus use the upper limit log of cos pi by 4 minus log of cos of 0. This is the thing. Now student, what will happen? Pi by 4 plus log cos pi by 4 is 1 by root 2. So student, you know that I don't want to use a mod because it is already positive value, and it is log cos 0 is 1. Again, no need to use a mod. Again, I tell you one thing, pi by 4 plus log m upon n is log m minus log n, and you know log 1 is 0, you must know. Again, log 1 is a 0, so your answer is a pi by 4 log root 2, and this is the end of the answer. So students, this is the solution, and I don't think that it is something new. It is all is well known from your side. Let me rub and let me take some question of the exercise. We have a question number 6th one I am sharing with you. I is equal to 0 to 2 1 upon x plus 4 minus x square dx. This is a question. How we can deal this question? Try to understand. 1 upon, this is a quadratic equation. So if you have a quadratic equation, quadratic that term, so you have two things to go with this. First, can this denominator factorize in factors, separating the factors? If these can be split in the factors, you will use here the partial fraction method. But if this particular term cannot be factorized in two factors, we will use the concept 1 upon quadratic equation. And I will use a 1 upon quadratic equation because this cannot be split in a factor. So we will go with a concept. We'll go with a concept 1 upon quadratic equation. How we can deal the quadratic concept? We will make a complete square. So we make square with a minus sign. So I'll take out common minus first and x square. This is a minus x and this is a minus 4. What to do now next? 0 to 2. This is 1 upon. I'll go with complete square concept. A square plus minus 2a. B is a half of 1. 1 by 2. 1 by 2 square I'll add. 1 by 2 square I'll subtract. And then minus 4. Especially I'll write there. After it, 0 to 2. 1 upon. First three term gonna be a minus b whole square. And this is minus 1 by 4 and this is a 4 whole will be 4 4 just 16 17 by 4. This is 17 by 4. What I do now next now, I'll multiply to minus, which is actually not necessary. You also can take minus upside and or minus outside because it is not under root sign. But okay, if you want to multiply minus inside the bracket, okay, you can. Like this gonna be 17 by 4 minus x minus 1 by 2 whole square. Now what to do, student? 0 to 2. This is 17 by 4 meaning 17 upon 2 whole square minus x minus half whole square. This is the formula. What formula we are using? A square minus x square. 1 upon a square minus x square, which is 1 by 2a log a plus x upon a minus x. Keep remember the laws. If you don't remember the law, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. 1 upon a square minus x square without under root sign, it is a 1 by 2a log x, a plus x upon a minus. Use it. 1 upon 2a, a is your 17 by 2, log of a, 17 by 2, x minus half, 17 by 2, x minus half. And we're going to use a limit now. So limit from 0 to 2, because this is a constant value, can be written outside of the limit. It is independent of the limit. The 2 and 2 will cancel. 1 by 17, 1 by 17, and I'll take first I just want to take the LCM. It whole will be 17 plus 2x minus 1 upon 2 and 2 will be cancelled. 17 minus 2x minus plus 1 and 2 and 2 cancel. So this is 0 to 2. Now I use the upper limit and lower limit. Can you go with upper limit? Log 17, 2 ye use a 2 to the 4 and 1 3 upon upper limit 2 to the 4 and 3. This is the upper limit, and lower limit is a 0. 17 minus 1, 17 plus 1. And you can drop your answer here. And if you want to solve, you have lots of options. First, you can rationalize the term. Second, you can use log m minus log n and go on. If you are dropping your answer right here, it can be called a correct answer. I don't want to see behind the book that what answer sheet is saying about the answer, because you can't remember in the exam. You have to think instantly that time only that what to do. So I think that it is good enough that you are leaving the answer right here. It's fine. Otherwise, you have lots of options. You can rationalize both of the term. Later on, you can use a log m minus log n. It's equal to log m by n and can be simplified, make an answer easier as possible. But okay, if you're dropping answer right here, it is called correct answer. Okay, so this is the question from my side I wanted to tell you. One more question, and it's the last from my side. It's the 8th one I'm trying to tell you. 8th question. So 8th one is again a good question. You can see that it's a 1 by 2. 1 by x, 1 by 2x square, it is e to the power 2x and dx. The question, if you will focus on that, you can understand that I taught you the concept cancellation law, you know, in which two functions are coming in plus or minus sign along with e to the power x or something like the term. So here we can use the cancellation law, but you know, you must have a keen observation on that, because if you don't remember the concept, you're not able to solve. Okay, so let me explain that. First of all, what I'll do, I'll multiply e to the power 2x and I separate the term like 1 to 2, just like that. Afterward, I'll go with first and second multiplication law. First function as it is, I'll do direct. Let me speak frankly that whenever you are treating the multiplication law with the limit, do it directly. First function as it is, integration of second is same upon 2 and use a limit, because you have done the first part. Now minus differentiation of first, 1 by x have a differentiation minus 1 by x square. Integration of second, e to the power 2x upon 2, but it is yet to integrate, so use the integration sign, and here it is a 1 by 2x square e to the power 2x and dx. Student, let me speak frankly, minus minus gonna plus. The both term looks very same, very identical, both will completely cancel, and answer is only 1 by 2. I'm to write outside e to the power 2x upon x whole power, sorry, it's a limit, and these two will be cancelled. So you use a limit here, upper limit e to the power 4 upon 2, lower limit e to the power 2 upon 1, and this is going to be your answer. You can take out e square common from your side, e square upon 2, this is going to be e square upon 2 minus 1, and this is a good finishing of the question. So these were the questions which I wanted to share with you from the exercise. I think good enough I taught you, and questions are not tough of this exercise. Those are left by me. This all was very easy. In fourth question, given the trick, you can follow that. In fifth one, you can take cos x equal to t. Seventh is the same as sixth one, so I don't think it's a trouble. So please do them. We'll have a very good concept tomorrow. So please don't drop the next class. That will be very important for the for the exams. Thank you.